Hello, everyone. This is Mike and Mike. Welcome to the Traffic 101 webinar. My name is Mike Donaldson, for those of you who don't know me, and my business partner, Mike Davis, known typically as Mike and Mike. I did want to preface this. We want to welcome everyone, but before we start welcoming and get started, I wanted to preface with there's going to be information today that actually was previously private content, private discussions between Mike and myself that relate to how to do business, that relate to mindset, that relate to some specific examples in our lives that have affected how we look at things. Heretofore, it's been kind of private conversations, but we felt that was really appropriate to share them during this traffic training webinar. With that, Mike.
Hey guys, welcome. I know many of you, because of our short notice, is probably watching this on a recording. And we hope that'll change. I would encourage you that it needs to change, that you need to attend live. If you can't understand, there are commitments, other things that are committed, but what's your level of commitment?
Well, and there's benefits to live interaction.
Well, no, just point blank, what's your level of commitment? If you can commit to watching the recording all the time, awesome. If not, then this probably ain't for you. This is going to be a little cold, hard stuff here, both from an internal point, as Mike has said, plus a more perspective. So what are we going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about some traffic insights, some secrets, but some of you probably are not going to be expecting a little bit of what we talked about. So first of all, let me bring up my little non-rambling guideline, I'll call it, so we do not ramble on for a while here. Let me bring up my little slide here, and we'll talk about what we're going to be sharing with you here. So, Mike, do you see the full presentation or the other one? Here we go.
I see the other one. There we go. Now I see full. I'm going to turn my camera off.
Well, don't turn it off. Don't turn it off. This is going to be short and sweet, this part.
Okay.
So what we're going to be talking about, a little bit of background, the why we're here, the background, the dream, the goal, and really the reality. Some of you are going to be slapped across the head with an open palm. Some of you are going to be slapped across the head with a 2x4. And some of you, it's going to take a 2x12. And some of you aren't going to like it. And then you'll do like most of us, including me, will look for something a little less resistant, like electricity. So what are we talking about? Mindset. You got to want it, and being consistent. So a little bit now, that's our PowerPoint for today. Like I said, it was pretty sweet and simple. Now, the actual, let me turn my sharing screen off here and get back to what we're going to be covering here. Basically a background. This is not going to be your typical 101 type course, a little bit of background. I've served in the military for quite a few years. Got out, did some other JOB, who hasn't? Nothing wrong with a JOB. Because of my military background in 2004, there was, I hate to say it, but an opportunity came up that allowed me to work with the U.S. Department of Defense going over to Iraq. And up until 2004, I had your typical job, if you will, career, and was working as a paramedic, doing a decent salary, but knowing that that's a 9 to 5 and paycheck to paycheck with a little bit here and there getting ahead and falling behind. I mean, just like everyone does, life as goes on. And then see the paper ad anyway, responded to it, and within 24 hours, they were calling me, telling me I need to be on a plane if I want to go overseas and make $90,000 tax-free. I told them they were crazy as hell. There was no way I was going to leave in 24 hours and leave my family, my dogs. I said I needed 72 hours. Needless to say, I went overseas and ended up overseas in Iraq for 3 years. When I left there, I was at a position, got promoted to a few things, and was making close to $200,000 a year tax-free. I don't know if anyone understands what tax-free really means and how much money you actually, if you go lock yourself up in a cabin on an island with nothing to spend your money on and you get paid $200,000 a year, how much money you will actually have. A lot, okay? So anyway, that's when I discovered the life across the tracks, I'll say. I was able to travel, do things that just never thought the average person could do. I got a taste of the other life, we'll call it. And so when I came home, I decided there's no way I could go back to a job and have someone telling me to do something for $12, $14, $15 an hour, because I tell them to go, I'd just walk off. And I decided to work from home. I had not taken any marketing skill, any courses on that, like professional courses like in school. My junior college I was a sophomore going for an emergency medical, and I watched a movie one night that involved people jumping out of airplanes. It was an old John Wayne movie. I'm telling you this for a reason, so bear with me. Anyway, the next day after waking up somewhat intoxicated, we went down and joined the military.
And now this was pre-Iraq, correct?
This was way in another.
You were what, like
early 80s, 1980, and decided right then that was told after taking a test that got me into a pretty nice position in the military that would take me 2 years to cut. Are you kidding? I just left school. Why do I want to go to school for 2 years? No. Then the guy said, big guns or little guns. I watched a cool movie. Recruiter showed me, and I want to do that. Then I realized part of that was jumping out of airplanes, which sounded great. Awesome. That's really cool. I was a kid from the suburbs of Chicago. We used to climb up on rooftops and trees. We never really did anything outside of a tree in the front yard, and they were not very big in Chicago, as you can imagine, or rooftops. We took elevators up the buildings. That was the experience of my height. Then I realized I was afraid of heights when I got into the terrified. And that's where the consistency comes in part. When I started climbing this thing to practice jumping out, it was an open bottom. Terrified, guys. Terrified.
Now, what's behind you, Mike?
A whole bunch of people coming up those same stairs, and I can't go back down, and my legs are telling me I can't go up. I'm in a hell of a predicament here. And after 3 weeks of this and jumping out of a perfectly good airplane, as the joke goes, usually you have 5 jumps. One of them is at night to give you that experience. I had 3 night jumps because my first 3 were with my eyes closed, terrified of heights. And all you do for 3 weeks is practice falling. That's it. You practice falling. Different ways you can fall, because jumping out of an airplane is a perfectly safe experience. You have all kinds of testing that went into these chutes, the riggers. You have all kinds of stuff. The most dangerous part is that 1 second when your foot actually hits dirt because you're like a sack of potatoes, and you try not to bruise the potatoes because then you end up with broken bones. So you practice falling for 3 weeks. That's it. You hit the ground at about 40 miles an hour, and you just practice falling. And consistency, guys. And I remember at the end of the 3 weeks, you had certain phases. The last few days during what was called Jump Week, every day, you always run in the military, but they take you on a special run. It was to weed out people that were hurt. Because you can't do this if you're injured, because you can really get hurt. There was a guy with a broken ankle in our unit that last day, and he wanted to graduate. He went on this run with a broken ankle and got through without the black hats, the guys that were overseeing us, they were called, because he wanted it. He wanted to graduate with us. He ran 2 miles with a broken ankle without limping and just gritting it. Bad, good, indifferent. He wanted it. And that's something here that through this marketing, you're going to have to be consistent. You're going to have to practice falling consistently. You're going to have to want it. My doctor, I know Dr. Roberts. We have a guy here in our group, Dr. Roberts. He's a dentist. I know what you go to school for a dentist. 8 years of schooling. Who wants that? You gotta want to go through that grind. You gotta want it. My doctor now tells me, I need to lose a lot of weight. I want it, but I go on those consistent mind diet, and I call it mind because I think about, I'll go on a diet and I try it for 2 days, and you know what happens? I don't lose the 50 pounds in 2 days. So the consistency, I go back to eating my apple pie that I love. Mike knows about this. There's no consistency there. When you're going to do some marketing, you got to be consistent every day. You got to be willing to fall down. And that's the same with these opportunities, whatever it is. Who's failed a few opportunities? We all have. Sometimes it's a little hard to get going. Everyone's heard the myth of Michael Jordan getting, kicked off his high school basketball team. That's a lie. He never got kicked off his high school basketball team. Did anyone actually look up the story? He was on the varsity, and because another guy that was playing his position was 6'7", the coach based the positions on the player's height, and he gave it to the guy that was 6'7", obviously over Michael, who was like 5'11". So the taller guy got the position. Michael actually got demoted, not kicked off, demoted to the JV team. And he played consistently on JV and basically blew everyone away on the JV court. He didn't get kicked off the team. He just got demoted, but he was, the story. Colonel Sanders, he ran a gas station. And cooked chicken. Then he went around to 600 restaurants selling pieces of chicken at first. His first, it said in the book, 1,195 times that he went to these places trying to sell a piece of chicken of his restaurant, he was turned down. 1,095 times. I don't know what the hell that is. That's more than consistent. That is a form of, I might call it stupidity. You got to go 1,100 times before someone says yes. Mike, 1,100 times before you can get someone to say yes?
Most people won't do it 5 to 7 times, which is what it typically takes.
That's what we're going to be talking about here, consistency in doing the marketing. Because there's a lot of people out there in this industry. You see them on Facebook. We're not on Facebook that much. That's going to change. We talked about that. That's some of the stuff Mike was just sharing with you.
Let me pitch. We're doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. There's no doubt about that. Lots of long hours and stuff to try to help the team. But you know what? Oftentimes that becomes an excuse for not doing the posting on Facebook or for not posting the right kind of thing on Facebook, which might be an upcoming event. So yeah, we're changing how we do things as well.
So and no matter what your religion is and your religious beliefs, everyone has heard of the story. You can feed a man a fish or teach him to fish, and what is going to work well. Well, when I got out of Iraq, I knew I didn't want to go back. So I started to learn my first network marketing. Oh my God, what an experience that was. I just knew Craigslist, and I posted every day on Craigslist. Every day, 10 cities. That's all I did every day. And people would respond, and I would get pages, literally, of people's phone numbers on on a pad. And what did I do? I just kept calling them. I called you every day. Yes, If you responded to that ad, I called you. I was one of those annoying people. I would call you every single day. If you would give me a hint, well, I don't know, let me think about it. Okay, tomorrow, did you think about it? Or 2 days, did you think about it? Until you told me to stop calling, I'm not interested, I would call you every single week, at least 2 or 3 times a week. And if you try to avoid me in the morning, guess what? I learned to call in the afternoon and evening. Then I tried a cool secret of masking my phone number so it was someone else's and you'd pick up. That's what I learned. That's what I was taught. And I just did it. And I went from a new associate to what that time was called a diamond, 1-star diamond or some crap like that, in about 3 weeks. And I had one of the biggest, fastest growing teams in this whole company of 20,000 people, because from 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning till about 10 o'clock at night, because I could call California people, I had them all 3 papers, Central Time, and I didn't do international. There was none of that international crap. I didn't know how to do none of that. I just called people consistently. I was my own little phone bank. And you know what? The 90 people who said, no, hell no, leave me alone. Okay. I looked for the 10 that joined me. I was just worried about the 10. I didn't care about, I was naive. I didn't care about the 90 people who were mad at me. I just wanted the 10 to say yes. And then I learned that, well, I need something for teaching them how to do this. So then I had to learn website design. And there was a program, Microsoft, some stupid page. You talk about god awful, ugly websites. I created them. My little Lego block, drag this thing over and put up this god awful picture and this god awful font. And you know what? People thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And they joined me because I had that kind of, the only one in this company that knew how to I didn't know how to create shit. I just bought this little software and built this site so people could have I'm interested in joining you. And I posted more on Craigslist. Then I discovered some of these other sites that you could do like Craigslist. Oh my God, I had so many leads coming in. I was calling 200 calls a day. And that's how I got started consistently. And then I learned some other habits like non-consistency, not following up with enough. The money is in the follow-up, guys. If I could teach you anything on this, it's being consistent. And we all have not consistent because my diet is not consistent. So that's the first thing we're going to be talking about, the mindset. You got to want it. You got to want it. I seen what the diamond, with that time, the average income it would be. And you know what? I was making about $18,000 to $20,000 a month in Iraq, tax-free. When I figured out all the bills, now that I got to pay light. What the hell? I didn't pay that for 3 years. I didn't have to pay rent, water, none of that stuff. All that stuff was provided over here. Now I got expenses, so I got to make it. If I want $20,000 free, I got to make $25,000 to cover my expenses. And then there's that nasty thing called taxes. Oh, crap! So I knew I needed to get to this one position because that's what everyone told me they were making. They all posted their, incomes and all that crap that you guys see online. And so I was naive. I wanted it. And I got it. And then you know what happened? The company crashed. Went bankrupt because the guy had too much white stuff going up his nose, didn't pay his bills. Everyone called the company a scam. Well, it wasn't. The guy just didn't know how to manage a company. Most of these companies we all called scams, they're not scams. They're just poor managed companies that didn't adapt to the market, whatever reason. They didn't start off that way. So anyway, consistent mindset, and you have to want it. Now, many of you work a job, a career, and I've been there, done that. And I can show you these programs how to make passive income. Passive income will pay your JCPenney bill automatically. Passive income, I don't even know where my water bill is. It will pay those bills where you don't have to worry about them. Passive income will not get you this. These are keys to a 2000 brand new 19 that I bought last June, Denali pickup truck that my next door neighbor calls it a $70,000 golf cart. Mike's seen it. It's one of the top end trucks. I don't even like pickup trucks, to be honest with you. I bought it because I thought it was cool looking. I bought it with Bitcoin. Passive income will not do that. Passive income will pay your bills, get you the freedom to buy a few things. So you got to decide what you want. I wanted this. The house I'm living in, which is a small house in Indiana, because I was going to travel around doing events, live events. Well, we've seen that 2020 hasn't worked out too well with that, have it? That house was bought with Bitcoin. Everything furnished in the house, my appliances, was bought with Bitcoin. Everything. Cashed in Bitcoin, note from the opportunity, being consistent when I was consistent and building. And guys, that's not passive income. You got to be able, and are you going to fail, Mike?
Yeah. Well, no, we know people haven't failed, but they've never tried.
There's only one way you will not fail is you will not try. That's right. The only guarantee. If you don't try, you never will fail if you don't try. I guarantee you, if you try, you will fail.
And part of that private discussion that I was referring to is that we take that failure, even though it's a bad business owner or whatever, we take it very personally for our team, almost too much. But
we've been told that. That comes from my military time. I had a few friends who were killed in action in training exercises, and you feel really bad because in that situation, they gave the ultimate price. So, and leaders and so forth look back and try to analyze, was that the right call? And it was just part of the job, part of what is happened here. And when you join these opportunities online, you are going to fail. Just like Colonel Sanders, just like Michael Jordan, just like all the others out there, you're going to fall. The difference is, do you get up and try again? Have we failed before? Absolutely. Have we taken it really hard? Woo. Absolutely. The difference is, and sometimes it takes longer each time, because I know what's possible in this industry. This would have never been possible working the career job. It's just not possible. And that's what we want to teach you, that mindset, the skill, because you can use these skills to do anything out there, whether you're a real estate agent, whether you're a doctor, a lawyer. There's certain skill sets on advertising. Word of mouth is a joke. Is a joke for a business. There is no business in the world that's going to be successful with word of mouth marketing. That's just, what do I mean by word of mouth? Someone come knocking onto my door here and say, I want to join your opportunity. If you're waiting for that, you are going to be eating ramen noodles or spaghetti with no sauce. It's just not going to happen.
Well, we've done marketing business to business, and we've seen business owners who feel that word of mouth is going to grow their business. Right, Mike?
Yeah, in a few years, you know what? Most of them are out of business because they couldn't pay their bills, or they're just struggling because they don't have no real growth, but they're getting by and they're happy. Well, you go check the successful businesses, they advertise, they market. And that is the key here. The mindset, you got to be willing to do it. There's a couple ways you can market, cost-wise or sweat equity-wise. And then you've got to either pay someone or learn it. And we're going to show you a little bit of both. And that's where we're at here. Failure, guys, once again, whether this, any opportunity, some of the most successful people in the world are the most ones who failed the most and paid the most. I know of professional people who fail 70% of the time. They are professional failures and get paid millions of dollars a year. Professional failures. These are baseball players. When you think about it, they go to bat 520 times on average a year. They fail 720, 730% of the time they fail, or 730 points. They hit 280, 300% batting average. That means they're successful 3 out of 10 times, and you are a hero. If you're a power hitter, you have 520 bats, and if you hit 30 times out of this 520 times, only 30, you are part of the magic number, the 30 home run club, and you are paid millions. So guys, consistency. So that's what we're going to be talking about. This is going to be a continuing class. You guys are getting the early mindset. I do want to talk about one thing here. I'm going to share this, and then we'll get into the actual training. So let me see if I can find my app. Hopefully you're going to have to tell me, Mike, if you can hear this, okay? Let me see here. Let me see. Can you see what screen do you see, Mike?
I still see the two of us. I don't see anything.
Okay. So hold on here. Let me, entire screen. Okay. Let me go here and see if this works. Tunnel of confusion?
Tunnel of confusion, yes.
Okay. I wonder if the sound actually plays. Now what do you see?
Speech courtesy of.
Okay. Tell me if you hear the volume.
The first rule of success is to have a vision.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have a vision of where you go, and if you don't have a goal where you go, you drift around and you never end up anywhere. I mean, as you know, I was born in 1947 in Austria after the Second World War. So I was very fortunate that I stumbled onto my vision. And I didn't really like Austria when I grew up. I couldn't wait to get out of there. I couldn't see myself becoming a farmer or a worker in a factory or anything like that. Even though my parents wanted me to stay there and have a normal life. But that was their vision, not mine. My vision was totally different. I felt that I was born for something special, for something unique, for something big. Then one day I went to school, I remember I was 11 years old, and they showed a documentary about America. There they showed this documentary, the huge skyscrapers, the high-rises, the huge bridges, the 6-lane freeways, and all of this stuff. And I said to myself, that's where I want to be. I don't want to be around here with these little farmhouses and these little buildings. I want to be in America. One day after school, I walked by a store in Graz. So I went inside and I looked around, and then I saw a magazine. I saw a bodybuilding magazine that had Reg Park on the cover. Reg Park was then a 3-time Mr. Universe. And I saw him on the big screen as Hercules. I read that and I said to myself, wow, this is the blueprint for my life. This is exactly what I want to do. I want to become a bodybuilding champion just like Reg Park. I want to get into movies just like Reg Park. And I want to make millions of dollars and be rich and famous just like Reg Park. Do you know how great it felt that I knew where I was going? Imagine the majority of people don't know where they're going. I knew where I was going. That I'm going to become this bodybuilding champion just like him. So it was just a question of how do you do it? I was so relieved because when you have a goal, when you have a vision, everything becomes easy. So people always ask me, when they saw me in the gym in the pumping iron days, they said, why is it that you're working out so hard? 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, and you have always a smile on your face. And I told people all the time, I said, because to me, I'm shooting for gold. In front of me is the Mr. Universe title. So every rep that I do gets me closer to accomplishing that goal, to make this goal, this vision turn into reality. Every single set that I do, every repetition, every weight that I lift will get me a step closer to turn this goal into reality. So I couldn't wait to do another 500-pound squat. I couldn't wait to do another 500-pound bench press. I couldn't wait to do another 2,000 reps of sit-ups. I couldn't wait for the next exercise. At the age of 20, I went to London and I won the Mr. Universe contest as the youngest Mr. Universe ever. And it was because I had a goal. So let me tell you something, visualizing a goal and going after it makes it fun. You've got to have a purpose no matter what you do in life. You've got to have a purpose.
Oops. So, there's a difference, guys, here. Consistency, goals, and what do you want? Is it going to be quick? Is this going to be easy? Are we going to be able to teach you everything in this next 30 minutes? No. We're going to do this over the next year, hopefully. We're going to be consistent on that part. And hopefully this group here, instead of watching it on a replay, you'll start attending. And you'll start doing these things on your wall and taking these activities instead of watching a movie at night. You can do both, but it's consistency. And that's something we have been missing. We have been missing on our end, my end. But what has this goal taught us? One last thing. And this is something me and Mike has never done. Been very honest about this. We have, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but having the skill set, having this, even if you don't fully apply it sometimes, can still, having that skill set, have that pole and go fishing when you want to. Maybe you should be fishing every day. Obviously, you'll catch a lot more fish. But if you still need to go fishing, you have that equipment, that set of skills to go fishing. About 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, we were on a path. And that path was not working out. And we decided to go fishing again. And we wanted to because in this industry, network marketing is a great industry, and it's also one of the most freaked up industries I've ever seen. It's because of some of the owners out there. It's because some of the so-called leaders who just screw people over. This is our commitment to you. We do our due diligence as best we can. Most of these leaders out there will do something. They'll get invited and they'll look at the comp plan and think, that's it, we're run with it. And at the first month, they're gone in a heartbeat. You never hear from them talking about that business. They're on to the next shiny spoon. And I guess it comes from my military days. You're the first one off the bird, and you're the last one to leave the field. If you're leading someone, that's embedded into you. You guys seen the story. You've heard the models, first in, last out, first to fall, last to fall. All that crazy crap that brainwashed into us. And that's our mentality. Mike served went through basic training. All that is just drilled into you like, left is left, right is right. And, that's brainwashed. The military is very good at that. So we're there at the end. And a lot of times we have made mistakes. When we didn't know it, we never have done it purposely. We have never purposely misled anyone. Companies close down for whatever reason, and it sometimes takes us longer to get back up. Old age, I guess, whatever. But this is the skill set we want to teach, because if you're consistent, this is what's possible. As I said, we decided we were going to look, and we had been looking, Jesus, for 6 months, 7 months for something that we felt were solid from all the mistakes. Because every time in the military you have an action, you have what's called or some kind of incident, you have an after action report, and you always try to learn from what's happened. And we would always talk about, me and Mike, on some of the flags we may have missed, and just how can we have eliminated what we didn't catch. And you try to apply that in life. I guess that's life normal, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah. Don't make the same mistake again.
Right. And we joined a couple of companies now. We're into 2 companies. I think most of you know one. Some of you may know both. Anyway, 2 weeks ago, we started this journey onto Cubitech. That's one of them. And we haven't really been marketing it a lot. We're still ramping up, getting our systems in place. We're kind of like that Queen Mary, that takes a couple tugs to get it out of the harbor and to hit open seas. And we got some old tugboats, so it takes them even time to get warming up and get us out to seas. But here's what's possible, guys. And I point this out not to brag, not to beat our chest or anything, but by having some systems in place, by doing some of the things we're going to share with you, this is what's possible. And I'm only going to, this is the last time, and then we'll get into some training here real quick on what we're talking about. Let me bring this up here. This we have never done probably in 10 years of marketing, Mike.
Yeah. And we
Never. You've never seen us talk about it. But we want to show you, because a lot of these in this industry, they all get on their chest and beat it and show you their fancy travels, yet someone bought them a ticket or whatever the case may be, or they show you a Lamborghini that they rented for 1 hour because they got to get back in their car that's 4 payments behind on their payments and they drove to the rental place. Yeah, we've heard the stories. We know the people that do that shit, excuse the French. But anyway, and we won't even talk about French, some of the thing parking the Lamborghini in front of a Eiffel Tower because you can only have it for 15 minutes. Yeah, they've done that.
And then never visiting the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah. So anyway, these are some of the things some of these leaders do. Okay, so I got the title over there somewhere.
And you know what? Some leaders lead. In fact, we have a leader that we work with that happens to be on this call. So that there are a few that lead and help their team. So that's what we're all about.
So guys, I'm going to show you some stuff here. I'm only going to show you this once. It's not to do what anything I said, just to show you if you build these systems and you practice even 1% of this over time, this is some of the options here. Okay, let me go down here and, let me go to, this is Cubitech. Most of you guys know that if you're coming from another opportunity, this is the one. This is not specific, just showing you what we've done here. Okay, you can see what's in my wallet. We've been in it now for 2 weeks today, I think.
Yeah, sounds right.
2 weeks today. That's in my wallet, okay? To some people, that's pretty nice, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's nice. Down here are all the packages I bought. You can see here, up here, it goes up here. I bought 12 packages, totaling $1,100. I started this.
You mean 11,000?
11,000. I started with $1,000 package. The rest of them I have bought from earnings. You can go down here and you'll see the earnings somewhere in here. Let me go back up. Here's my earnings. Let me go to my network and it'll show you that. You can see from the binary, I have made $11,000. From direct bonus, $1,158. From this type of payout, $88, and this one, $300. Altogether, give or take, $13,000 in 2 weeks. Now, $13,000. That's what I've made. Mike has his own account, has a pretty impressive number. That's what I made in my account, guys. And that's not because I'm bragging or telling you anything about this. It's because of having some tools and skill sets in place that allows me, when I decided to start marketing something, to use them. And I've used maybe 5% of that skill set. It's not saying it's going to grow exponentially, my income based on the amount of effort, but I guarantee you it will grow, and it will grow rather quickly if I start being consistent. And that each individual has to earn it. You, on the other hand, watching this, we're going to show you how to do some of this. Are you going to achieve it overnight? Just like my diet of trying to lose 50 pounds in 2 days, it's not going to happen. Your first few times, you might make a video that we talked about, and you might get 3 views. There's a gentleman out there, his name is Frank Kern, if any of you heard, he talks about his journey. He used to just spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a month doing advertisements, running ads on YouTube, Facebook, whatnot. And he talked about this. I mean, he is the man. He is the man if you want to learn how to do advertisement and build your business that way. He is the god of the gurus. The gurus go to him. And then he talked about discovering social media and YouTube making what he called, oh my God, I got 8 people to watch a free video. And he talked about how excited he was. Here's a guy that's making $1 million a month. He makes a free video on YouTube and he has 8 people watching it. And he talked about how excited he was. And then he's taken that to now doing social media posts. And he has the following, the herd following him. And now he gets all that stuff for free. You can build it. And that's what all these leaders do on Facebook. The one thing is they're consistent. They're consistent. You have to be consistent. You got to want it. You got to have the consistency, and you got to do it. If you just get on there and say, "What, Mike, join me today, I made money," nobody is going to follow you. You got to feel the pain. You got to paint the picture of profit, and you're going to, why join you? All that in the same post every single time. Jim Edwards, probably one of the most famous copywriters. He talks about it in a book. And I don't know where my book is. It's over there in the stack of books over there. But Jim Edwards, right there. If you guys, I'm telling you right now, if you want to learn what we're doing, ask how to get that free book. What I mean by it's a free book, it's not free, but it's a free book because you got to pay for the shipping and handling. It costs $8. I have read that book 5 times. It's taken me 2 years to read the book 5 times because I'm not consistent, but every time I read it, I learn more. If there's one book you ever want to read, it's that book right there if you're going to do this and you want to be successful. $7.95. You guys have spent a shitload, excuse the French, that's from the Army days, a lot of money on joining opportunity. You're coming to training. If there's one book, one uber secret that I can give you, it's that book. Jim Edwards, contact us. We'll give you how to get it from him. It is. There's other stuff he's going to try and sell you like everybody does in this industry. And we bought some of it. Some of his training is outrageously expensive. But that book in itself was the best book I have ever read on marketing. And I think Mike would, I got him to read it. And I'm telling you, guys, that book is a freaking gold mine. And set it to where you run 10 pages a night. Just like you brush your teeth in the morning, or maybe you get your can of caffeine every morning, or your cup of coffee, or you walk your dog, whatever you do every morning, make that a habit, and you will instantly become a better person in your career. And I mean career, whether it's marketing, and for restaurant, you're a manager, whatever. If you do any type of advertising, you need copy. And I'm telling you, that book is a gold mine. So, and that's what we're going to get into right now. Some of his stuff. And so, okay, now let's get into the training. Do we got any questions before we get started here? We only got 2 people watching this. This is very freaking cool because most of you are registered to watch the email. And we didn't market it. We were not consistent in telling everyone about this. So, okay. let's get into Facebook. Facebook is probably the easiest marketing platform right now out there for beginners to learn. It has a couple of very, very simple tools. So let me go ahead and pull up how to do a Facebook Live. This is the simplest one to do. The simplest thing, because you want to do an event. You don't have to do nothing. You just have to create a post. It's a fancy post on your wall. That's basically what an event is. Guys, if you can't do this, you can't do marketing. I mean, there's that commercial for, what is that commercial, that insurance company, even a caveman can do it. Yep. Guys, this is it. This is drop dead simple. If you can operate one of these devices, these are very complicated. They have 2 buttons. If you can operate one of these, you can do this. And if you do it consistently, you can get some traffic. And then you have to contact the traffic, follow up with the traffic, and say, what did you think? And if they give you a question, hold on, let me get hold of Mike or Mike if I can't answer it. And that's all you have to do. Will that build you a $20,000 a week income? No, it will not. And if anyone out there on these so-called leaders tell you it will, bullshit. It won't. But it's a start. You got to walk before you run. You got to crawl before you walk. You know what I mean? And we're going to start there. So let's show you how to do this crawling. So let me get over here and turn my screen share on one more time here and pull up. What we're doing here. Let me show you this real quick here. Most of you know we had an office up to last January. Most of you didn't know, but we shut down the office. It was a 6,000 square foot office that we were building up for the team and everything like this. Rom, bom, bom. Spent a freaking fortune on that, didn't we, Mike? Mm-hmm. A fortune. And we shut it down because of COVID. It just wasn't working. But 2 weeks ago, when we decided to go back in and do this and help everyone, instead of us going down renting another office, we had the office come to us. And that's what we're sharing here real quick. You see this picture, Mike?
Yeah.
This is the office, the brand new office we're building, and it's going to have a studio so we can do videos and show people how to do videos and marketing. What do you mean it came to you? Well, let me see if I can back this up here and show you another one. Here, hit this one. It's sitting in my backyard. And that's my well-maintained lawn driveway there. You can see how well I maintained that this year. And that's my garage. I live in an older community, a little older house here in Indiana. And this is parked in my driveway. It's a 14 by 32 foot building I bought for our office, for our team to do marketing. Still haven't got out there and worked on it because I'm building the systems. Haven't been too consistent in that, have I, Mike?
No.
But guys, this is going to be up here in the next month. We're going to be doing some high-end videos and helping promote your videos if you follow what we do. Just wanted to show you. That building was about $15,000. See, a lot of these leaders out there, they'll get on there and give you great speeches and promotion. And when you join them, what do they do for you? They give you great speeches and, go get them. Go, team, go. They don't even give you plastic pom-poms. We kind of reinvest in our business for good or bad. You can take it at point. I can tell you, pan around there, you can see from my back here, the door's shut, all the speakers, all the cameras, all the video stuff for the office out there that we're going to use to help promote our videos and yours. So that's what we're going to be doing. Anyway, so let me show you this Facebook stuff now. Okay, let me get this over here. I take it you can see this page, right?
Yeah, it's your desktop. Yep.
Okay, Facebook's loading up here. So first thing you need to do is go to your wall. And you need to have a couple of things in place. You can go to, let's say you're going to promote one of the businesses we're in. If you're promoting your real estate or your lawn care service, your daycare, your other career that you want to promote, you're going to have to go to a place like Fiverr and get something, a template made up. Don't get one thing. Don't get one ad. You want a template that you can easily edit because you're going to be changing dates and times. So you don't want to have to constantly pay for that. So make sure to get a template and a simple program. There's a couple out there that you can edit the date. But if you're going to promote something we're involved in, we are going to start putting them back there a couple days early so you can use these ads that's already made up. We'll show you how to get the software, where to get it. And it would behoove you to get a simple art software for a small cost when you feel comfortable at that stage. They're not complicated. I do not use complicated software. Mike knows Photoshop. Awesome. Sucks because it takes me forever to learn it. I get simple, dumb programs. But they're very good. Today's technology is very advanced for a lot of artwork. So anyway, let me go into this and show you what. So you got to have some artwork for this event, and we'll show you here. So what I would do is I would go to a group. And this, I'll just give you an event here. Let me go to our group. It's called Cuban Tech Dream Team. See, I couldn't even think of that. Here we go. I'm going to go here, and let's say it's right there. There's some stuff you can use right there, and we'll get to that in a minute. An event. Let me go over here. I'm not very familiar with the new format. Event. I'm going to go right here. There's some events. Let's say I'm promoting this event. This is the artwork that we're talking about, in the post area. This is an event coming up, let's say tomorrow or Tuesday. So I'm going to go here. Oops. You're going to be able to, oh my gosh. I'm not familiar with this new format here. So let me go back there and grab this again. Okay, I do not see. Oh, there it is, right up there at the top. So you're going to copy this. We're going to have it easier in the post since this is not. But I'm going to save the image. Now I got the image. I'm going to save it to my desktop, and I'm going to call it post right there. Someplace you can find it. And then you're going to have some words. And this is where, Mike, that book we talked about, Jim Edwards, comes in handy, creating the content. Guys, you can have a Mona Lisa. You can have the most wonderful graphics. I don't think those are very high-end graphics to you, but they get the people have to read the post. Your words matter, and you got so long to catch them. So you can do this. You create a post, and we'll even give you the words in our group. So you got the post where it says, and you go over to your group. Now you got your words you're going to post. You got the picture. You got those two things you're going to need. You didn't have to know how you can use our stuff. So let me go back to my wall. So I got my material all ready, and I'm going to go here to my wall. And on this one, it's a little different. Here's my wall, right? Yeah, you have to go over to the plus time. Now, if you have the older Facebook, because you're going back and forth, it's in a different area. But you go over here where it says create, and you look for an event. And I'm going to create an online event. And now, over here, I'm going to name it how to make 25% a month. Up to. You want to try and keep it real, right, guys? Up to 25% a month on autopilot. Why? How to make 25% a month. Sounds great, right? Who doesn't want to make 25% a month? The proper Jim Edward way, the people out there that don't know marketing, how to make 25% a month. The people that know a little bit about marketing, how to make 25% on autopilot. The Jim Edwards way is how to make 25% on autopilot so you can enjoy more time with your friends and family. Or how to make up to 25% a month so you can spend more time traveling and doing the things you wish to in life. Which sounds better to you? How to make 25%? Or how to make up to 25% traveling the world and seeing the things you want with friends and family. That little things. And that's just without thinking about it. That's just the Jim Edwards way. You got to give the pain. You've been screwed. The pain. What's in it for them, and why is it important for them? People don't care about you. They don't care how much you made. They don't care about none of that crap. All they want to know is, what is it going to do for them? How is it going to help them? All these people, I. They don't care about I's. They care about me. That's what Jim Edwards teaches. And so I'm telling you, that book is a freaking gold mine. So anyway, so you get on here, you do this, and you fill out all this stuff over here. Today, let's say it's tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So you pick tomorrow's date, which is the 25th. You pick the time frame. See here. You want to make sure you pick the right one, because sometimes I pick the wrong one. And you want to do it public. What good is private? You know what I mean? You can do it public or friend. Let's just say all my friends. I usually do them public. And you hit next. Bam. Okay? And now I'm going to do it as a link. I'm going to send them to a site so they can register. You can schedule a Facebook Live, and we'll show you how to do that later. But this is for an event like a webinar. So you pick the link here. And now you put the URL. Our URL for this one that I'm doing is 250 return. Because we're talking about, 250 earnings. So .com. Okay? You do that. And then you hit next. You make sure you have it spelt right, always. Mike has taught me that. And I haven't listened consistently. As many of you know. So you go there. And now here's where you would put your description in that we have, which I have a description. I think I have a file right here. Let me open this up. And there's some blah, blah, blah. So let me grab this. This is already titled up. And you use the same title. You have it saved as a template, guys. So you can just edit that every time. Let me close all these 13,000 windows. And let me go over here. Here's my template. I pasted it in there. Title. And I'll remove that because I just copied it. How to earn 250% passively. And I might change it a little bit every time. Just a little bit of words on autopilot while on a beach. Who doesn't want to be on a beach come this time of the year? I know I do. Okay. And then you put in the time and the date, 3 p.m. And you can have this already done because they're always at whatever time you're going to do. So you just fill in your template. So let me get that 3.20. And you generally put the time zone because it is international. It is international. So let me fix this. 3 p.m. EST. And so let me get the date. Let me get all this. There we go. And that would be October 25th, Sunday. Wow. As you can see, I don't have my glasses on, and that's what happened.
I might mention that what you might want to do with your template is you might want to copy and then paste it into the event.
Yeah, you want to have all that wrote out, and I did
change it in there. Yeah.
Yep. So there we go. And you go down here and you make sure free webinar and make a little space when you get down here so people will see the URL standing out by itself. Make sure that it stands out there a little bit about the time. And you would put the time and date right here again. Let's see, October 25th, 3:00 p.m. EST. And check that. There we go. 3. The keyboard is sticking here for some reason today. Okay. So and there we go. We got it here. Let me just erase this here. We don't need it 3 times. Okay. And give it a little space. So when they come here, they'll see it. So now they're reading it. Oh. Okay, 250 all about how to earn. Let me get rid of this double line here because that's a double sentence. Mike wrote this template up here. I was just using it. So that's usually I have my own template. He has his own. We just did this here. Okay. And you probably don't want to tell people if they register, they'll get an email. You want them to come live, generally. So there we go. Okay. And now you hit next. Now you upload that video that we talked about, that cover. You know what I mean? That thing I saved. And wherever you saved it, I think I saved it to my desktop. I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking. There's live event right there. And there it is. And you'll see on ours, you'll learn how to do it. You can Google what's the size you need. We got software that gives us the right sizes, and you just paste it there. And now, obviously, the date is wrong and so forth. And all you do is hit event. And you do this goes to your wall. And that's important because now people will see it. People will see it. But how many people see it? Actually, not that many. That depends on you, again, being consistent. Not only do you have to do this, but you have to engage with people on Facebook. How many of us love posting on Facebook, Mike? You see that little weak hand? Mike hates Facebook.
No, I was putting up a 0. Although some people really do. They love posting about cookies or
whatever. I'm telling you, this is what I try to do, and I haven't been as consistent as I should be. So you do that and you hit it. I'm not going to hit live because it's the wrong date. You go down here. I'm going to go to Facebook, the news feed. If you do this, and I don't care if you're Dr. Roberts, nothing personal, Doc. If you're Dr. Roberts, or if you're Mike Donaldson or Mike Lucas, or you have 4 kids, or my sister out there, if she's listening to this, 25 dogs, it's just a bunch of freaking excuses that you can't do this. You have time. It's just not a priority. You're not consistent on brushing your teeth. Like Dr. Roberts would tell you every morning, he's the dentist. You must find time to brush your teeth or bad things will happen. I can attest to that. So you need to do this every day. It takes 5 minutes. And if you don't think you have 5 minutes in a day, something is wrong with your life. Okay, we can't help you on that one. So what you need to do is scroll through here. Here's a cool picture from Trevor. Woke up with a lot of wonder for. And here, I'll do this. Wow.
Well, let's just say it's not cool for Trevor.
No. There. Not an offensive nothing. I made a comment. I engaged. I'll go down here. I'll look for the Great Delusion. You know what I'm saying? I'll look for that's a lot of money. I won 50%. You know what I mean? Of the money. And I'll say, ooh, love that picture. You don't want to actually say I love it or it's funny if someone's posting that their family member died. You got to read and engage.
Actually, you want 50%, not 0%.
We're glad you're home. The Russians pooped in the hallway. You know what I mean? Just you find 10 or 15 different people every day. And you try and stay away from. All of us falls into this habit, no matter what your preference is. If you have any political views, you try to stay away from them because, well, you're going to piss off one side or the other. There's a couple things you don't talk about on Facebook. It's hard for a lot of people. Religion and politics. Religion and politics, you'll piss somebody off.
Well, and take note. Go back to that. Some people don't know. No, go back down to the gold one. That one. That yeah. Keep up one. Right there. Some people don't realize it, but if it says sponsored underneath the person's name, and sometimes it can.
That's an ad.
That's an ad. So
that's what do squat for you. You found around the American dream. You stay away from the. Okay, now that's pretty cool. You try and stay away from the political ads. Here's our guy, the guy with the book. I'm telling you, man's a genius. So, you find some non-political stuff and you just I laugh here because we talked about this when people join something, when people pick a leader or someone to follow, and we kid around. This is from the old Indiana Jones movie, one of those Temple of Doom or whatever that crap he made, following Indiana Jones. He chose wildly. When he grabs the wrong cup to drink out and the guy turns into a skeleton, he chose poorly. So, guys, find some stuff, that you can just comment. It don't take long, 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Okay, that's interesting, and that's all you need to do.
Actually, I think that's one of Mike's dogs.
And it creates engagement. You try to find different people to do it for, and that's it. Right now in the political season, sometimes it might take you 7 minutes because all the political ads out there. Now that looks pretty cool. That's funny because it does look like a boat, but it's an iron.
It does.
And you can. I own one. And that's it, guys. Now, when you post stuff and you post your event, because you're engaging with people and Facebook sees engagement, you'll get more views. And then when you make an engagement, let me go here to the wall. I'm giving you a whole bunch of Facebook time. We're going to stop it here in a few minutes. Right here. I didn't do it. For example, here, this is from what you want to do, Rhonda, and I'm saving it here. Respond to the people. Make a comment to the response on your wall. You know what I'm saying? Just make a response to the wall. Even on something as simple as I got a lot of responses. And I haven't posted this because I've been busy. There's an excuse. I've been busy. See? I could have done that. Here's a post here. This is a funny one. And I should have I got a couple shares and I don't know, 9 or 10 people. And if they make comments, just respond to them. Here's Godzilla walking down the street. You know what I mean? This is 2020. So, guys, respond to comments. Thank them. And that's all you have to do. I'm trying to find one here. Here we go. Let's see here. My investment. I'm trying to show you something. There we go. Okay, here's the perfect one. I made a comment on something that did not work out. We got out of it. Because, you know what? We did our due diligence, and after a while, it just wasn't working out. Don't be afraid to say, run. But 57 comments. Let me show you here. Someone asked for something here. You go here. You'll notice, is there any information? Sent you a PM. Requesting info. Sent them a PM. Corey Jones. And I'm just showing you guys here the algorithm for Facebook. Sent you a PM. When they're asking for information, I don't post it there. Why? Engagement. Here's Heather. We know Heather. We know BJ. We know Rams. We know Ron. I'm going to pick someone here that PJ from Australia. I'm just all these people. Let's just use PJ. Where's Patrick Smith he lives in Australia. Okay, so Patrick is engaging. First engagement right there, asking for information. Facebook sees that. Now I'm sending Patrick a post responding to Patrick. First, I like this post, engagement. Sending, hey, Patrick, I sent you a video, engagement. Then I click on Patrick's name. We load it up here. And there's my engagement. 4 engagements. Then if Patrick says something back, I'll watch it or what's the question or something. Then I'll follow up in a couple of days saying, hey, Patrick, did you watch it? Engagement. From that one post, I get 5 engagements. My views, everything I post in my wall is seen by more people. Now, do you only want to post I mean, business. No, absolutely not. Where's my wall? Here we go. So you mix it up with some funny stuff. I mean, this was pretty funny, I thought. A friend of mine works at a car dealer. A young person came in with an older car and wanted to know why his iPhone charging port is scratching his screen. It's an old car. It's a freaking cassette player. He's sticking his phone in. I mean, get engagement in some other stuff. Guys, just you got to do it consistently. And you can see from my wall, I haven't been consistent in the last month. But when you are, your stuff gets more exposure. It gets more exposure. And be consistent in there. And another great way is find people's birthday. Wish them happy birthday on their birthdays. Facebook tells you when they are. How long does it take to have a little copy and paste happy birthday and you put in their first name? You tag them. I mean, Mike doesn't do that. He used to. We are inconsistent in some of our things. If you do this consistently, it builds up your social media. You'll see people out there who only do social media marketing. That is it. And they do well because they're consistent in it. You want to build a list. How were we able to get $20,000? We had a list of people who were interested in like-minded individuals. There's nothing wrong. It's the most important thing to do in a business is have a list. And we'll get into that. You want to have a list. If you own a real estate agent, if you're a realist and you don't have a list, you're a freaking fool. Someone comes shopping with you today and you take them out to show them some houses, right? And you know what? They don't buy. Well, I think I read somewhere years ago, the average person moves every 5 years. Every 5 years, people move. Well, if you have a list and a new house gets listed up and you had a list of 10,000 potential homeowners over the last 5 years that came to you, hey, we got a new house listing, blah, 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 blah. I bet you'd get a whole bunch more showings. A list. The money is in the list. That's old school. And you know what? It's not so old school because there's still people making millions of dollars with a list. That's one of the advanced ways that most of these online gurus, these Facebook guys, don't even understand to build a list. They just post something on Facebook and they do well. Think about if they actually use a skill set, an advanced skill set, not just basic stuff. And this is what we're wanting to show you. How doing stuff on Facebook, absolutely important. Then when you capture those leads, and that's what I did, every one of those people went into a system that was a landing page, a funnel. You give them general information, they take a step, they take another step, they watch something, they respond. It's a funnel that comes to someone that's very interested, very targeted, and you follow up. It's that simple. It's a process. The more consistent you are with the process, the better the results. And if you do it over a longer period of time, you can do anything. You can do anything. So that's it for today. We are at our hour mark. Holy cow, that was a long presentation. Guys, we're going to get into more Facebook stuff next week. We're going to show you some stuff. Then we're going to hit on general topics, a little bit on Facebook, and show you some algorithms like we were showing you. We'll do a little bit on YouTube, and then we'll dive more into more specific stuff. But Mike, that book again, Jim Edwards, guys.
I actually posted the link in the chat. So
$8. If you're going to buy anything in life in the next year to improve whatever you're wanting to market, whether it's Cubitech or whatever you're doing out there, if you want to get better down the road for the next opportunity you see that you feel great with, get that book and order it. And not only order it, you can't see my stack of 20 books over here that I have not read, that I bought. Some of them I have read once, but that book I've read 5 times. It is that little cartoon with that knight on there. He chose wisely. That is one of the best books to help you understand the basics of copywriting, which is just essential. And whether you're running advertisements on TV, YouTube, newspaper, freaking putting flyers out for your school, your kid's school dance. It will help you in any area. Absolutely essential. So, guys, that's it. And we'll probably talk about that book for the next month every time. Because it's part of everything we do. Copy, as you've seen. Everywhere you're going to have to tell someone what you're doing, why you're doing it, and what you're getting out of it. And it's all in copy. It's all how you present it. And knowing the proper way to present it will make the difference. As Neil said in his movie, do you want the red pill or the blue pill? You want them to choose the right pill, and it's how you explain it. And that's what Jim Edwards' book does. Awesome freaking book.
One thought here is that people sometimes will take the posts that we make on the event to advertise it, and they'll share it. And why is that
not share it? Oh my God! You're sending traffic to our wall. Take it, copy it, and make it your own.
Right. So if you're with us and one or both of the businesses that we promote, when we post it, you can steal the picture, but post it on your wall. That's where Facebook's going to like it. Your followers are going to like it, and it personalizes it for you.
Rhonda, since you just got here, will you be sent a replay? No, we will ban you from all replays for coming late, Rhonda. Yes, you will get it. Yep. So, guys, any questions real quick? We have got to shorten these down from now on to a 30-minute instructional and 15-minute Q&A. They won't be this long because who in the heck is going to watch an hour replay? I'm not going to because I'm bored with that. Sorry. So we got to keep them shorter.
Well, I think it was important for us to introduce the whole concept of this Traffic 101 and some behind-the-scenes thinking about why it's so critical. So I'm glad we did it an hour and 13 minutes.
Okay. Guys, that's about it for today. Thanks a lot. And next Saturday, Traffic 101 Series 2.
Noon Eastern on Saturday.
Yep. So, okay, guys, thanks a lot. Take care. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.